Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's still Tuesday. You should be seeing this on Wednesday. It's been a beautiful, beautiful couple of days here. We just thank the Lord that He's given us time with sunshine. It certainly has broken spring wide open. So this week we are looking at the Psalm 17, and it's literally just called a prayer of David. We don't know exactly when this transpired, when he wrote this psalm, certainly before his ordeal with Bathsheba. So, but he was in many battles, and we know this, and in many places where he was crying out so constantly for the Lord to come to him and to show him the way. So, let us begin with the hearing of Psalm 17. O Lord, hear my plea for justice. Listen to my cry for help. Pay attention to my prayer, for it comes from honest lips. Declare me innocent, for I see those who do right. You have tested my thoughts and examined my heart in the night. You have scrutinized me and found nothing wrong. I am determined not to sin in what I say. I have followed your commands, which keep me from following cruel and evil people. My steps have stayed on your path. I have not wavered from following you. I am praying to you because I know you will answer, O God. Bend down and listen to my prayer. Show me your unfailing love in wonderful ways. By your mighty power, you rescue those who seek refuge from their enemies. Guard me as you would guard your enemies. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Protect me from the wicked people who attack me, from murderous enemies who surround me. They are without pity. Listen to their boasting. They track me down and surround me, watching for chance to throw me to the ground. They are like hungry lions, eager to tear me apart, like young lions hiding in ambush. Arise, O Lord. Stand against them and bring them to their knees. Rescue me from the wicked with your sword. By the power of your hand, O Lord, destroy those who look to this world for their reward. But satisfy the hunger of your treasured ones. May their children have plenty, leaving an inheritance from their descendants. Because I am righteous, I will see you. When I awake, I will see you face to face and be satisfied. Ooh, amen. He's certainly speaking from his heart. Now, several units within our own denomination, with our own church, are actually studying the Psalms. We seem to be in many different places. But this last Monday morning at 39ers, we were actually going over Psalm 17. How wonderful is that, to have the insight of my sister along with this particular viewing of Psalm 17. David's cry is just, he knows exactly where his rescue is. He knows he has opponents, and the only way to truly deal with them is to lay them down before the Lord, not himself. He calls for the Lord to bring his sword against his enemies, not David's sword. I find that unique in this particular prayer, as he calls out to the Lord, knowing that the enemies are plotting against him almost at every step of the way. He has possibly not been made king yet, so he's still struggling in the wilderness and still having responsibility for those who've come alongside him. And yet his responsibility is to keep them alive as well. So even provision, that he calls out for everything that he needs from the Lord to actually take care of everything. There is such great need here from David to be crying out in such a way. I want to read something that my sister had pulled from Charles Spurgeon about the eye, the pupil of the eye, the apple of the eye that the Lord speaks of so often. His people are the apple of his eye. So listen to this quote from Charles Spurgeon. No part of the body more precious, more tender, or more carefully guarded than the eye, and of the eye no portion more peculiarly to be protected than the central apple, the pupil, or as the Hebrew calls it, the daughter of the eye. Wow, this is really interesting. The all-wise Creator has placed the eye in a well-protected position. It stands surrounded by projecting bone like Jerusalem, encircled by the mountains. Moreover, its great author has surrounded it with many tunics of inward covering, besides the hedge of the eyebrow, and the curtain of the eyelids, and the fence of the eyelashes. And in addition to all of this, he has given to every man and woman so high a value for their eyes, and so quick an apprehension of danger, that no member of the body is more faithfully cared for than the organ of sight. A.K.A. Charles Spurgeon. What a wonderful take on our visual sight, the things that we see, and the protection of our eyes to see into the body, into the spirit of the soul. This is just so wonderful, a great way to build ourselves up, to call out to the Lord, to actually hear that he treasures his people. We are his precious possession, the church, the body. One day we will be his bride. Whether it comes soon or comes later, still we will be his precious possession. And I just find that such an amazing thing, that David understood there was no other place to be, no other place than in the sight of God and under his wings. I have had such an experience when my son and daughter-in-law had lost their baby. This is now years ago, because their youngest is now 15. And back there, I remember getting to the hospital, and the baby had been delivered, and Nina was just a basket case at that point in time. But I remember stepping into the room, but I had to duck. I did duck to get under what I sensed was a wing, and it was not a small wing. It encompassed both Nina and Tom, and I had to walk under it to even get to them. But I felt like I was allowed into that space. We talk about the hen that protects her chicks. It's no different with an eagle that is standing guard over that which is his possession, and how he was protecting them in that time frame, because it was only God who could comfort them in those moments. It was a sad time, but that wing I've never forgotten. And how awesome is that God gives us these moments where we know he's right there, and he has shown us his presence in that space. So just remember David went through a lot of things, but he understood that God was his provision, his refuge, his hiding place he could go and he could cry out. And so can we. God is always listening for his people's cry, and he does answer, and quite quickly, in order to calm us that he is indeed with us. Well, I thank you for today's lesson, and I thank you for checking in and even listening. Just pick up the word and listen to what God has to say about how he loves you especially. Thank you. Amen.